Welcome back to the video blog. Daniel Mezei is my name. Your PMD, producer of marketing and distribution, pmdforhire.com. So the weekend went by, wondering what you did over the weekend. Generally over the weekends I like to catch up with a lot of the films that I don't get a chance to see during the course of the week. I also like to get out and like to drum up some additional business. It's a good time to set meetings with people because people have pretty much slower schedules over the weekend, especially on Sunday, and that's pretty much how this weekend was devoted. I also like to see what's going on in the film community. I like to see what's going on in the indie sphere. I like to see what some of the ads are like. I read ads. I like to see what people are posting out there online, what they're looking for. Now, one of the conclusions that I came out with on Sunday was pretty astonishing, the fact that independent filmmakers that I'd been in contact with because we'd gotten in touch with each other online, and I'm pretty surprised a lot of these people don't even know things, basic things, what I consider to be basic things in 2010, things like DIY. I had a lot of people asking me, what's DIY? I mean, you have to know what DIY is. If you're an independent filmmaker and you're producing films on independent budgets and you're raising money and you're raising finances and you don't know what DIY means, that's a problem. I'm going to consider that a problem for sure. Other things, of course, people don't understand necessarily what PMDs are or what they do, so it gives me an opportunity to explain what John Reese and Sherry Candler's position entails and to let them know the various steps in the flowchart of activities that the producer of marketing and distribution does. Although again, as I said, astonished because I'm very surprised that filmmakers end up garnering these budgets and they don't really know what to do with their films once they're done. I find a lot of people, and I'm sure John and Sherry would concur in a lot of their workshops, you get people that are basically running to the finish line, dying to get to post-production, dying to get the film in the can, as we say, dying to have the film in some kind of a film festival ready situation, and not really thinking about what's going to go on once that film is already done and already paid for. And that's really surprising. I'm surprised that independent filmmakers to this day, after listening to what's going on in the sphere and going to places like Sundance and other film festivals, where I'm almost certain they have panels that talk about independent distribution. And if they haven't heard it at panels, and they've heard it online, or at least if you're reading film magazines like Filmmaker or IndieWire, you hear about it. You know that there's an independent distribution movement going on. And I'm shocked that I spoke to filmmakers this weekend in marquee markets like LA, New York, and they have no clue what the hell DIY distribution is. That's pretty sad. I also had a chance to listen to a great podcast. It was an hour long, what's known as Distribution U, or Distribution University, with 2009 case studies. People like Cora Olson, who had the great film Good Dick, and actually it was put on by Ted Hope. I think Scott McCauley was involved from IFC as well. But in any event, there was some really good stuff that was mentioned over the course of that hour. Precious details about the kinds of paperwork that you need to file with distributors, the various items that you need to have ready, the various checkboxes that you have to tick off on as you go down the list, getting your prints ready for theatrical distribution so that a distributor, for example, can prepare trailer material from it, things to tell your domestic distributor so that they don't end up charging you for trailers that they end up sharing with foreign distributors, taking that money out of the revenues that they're supposed to pay you. Things like that, breaking out the individual rights so that rights that cannot be monetized by a distributor do not get taken by them, and then you don't get taken to the cleaners, as we say, for giving them all possible rights. Things like that. Filmmakers still don't know those things. Yes, it's a good opportunity for PMDs to step in the breach and to educate people, for people like John Reese and for Sherry Candler to go and give 2 or 3 day seminars to explain to people how to go about conducting your marketing and distribution strategy for your film. But you gotta know the basics, indies. You really gotta know the basics. If you don't know what DIY is, get online now, go to Wikipedia, and have a look at John's book, for example, Think Outside the Box Office. That's going to give you a little bit more of an insider track. Or have a look at the publications from Guerrilla Film, 2 L's, 2 R's, Chris Jones, and that kind of situation. You want to have a look at what they're producing. The Production Office, another great video cast. And Genevieve Joliffe, that is, by the way. You want to take a look at that particular collective, Guerrilla Filmmakers. So you have to know these things if you want to stay in the game, because the game is changing like by the day, and you're just going to go and collect money. If you got somebody paying you the bills to make your films and you don't have any equity investors that you have to pay back and you're not fiduciarily responsible to anybody, go ahead and stay in the dark. But otherwise, if you want to continue to make films, DIY is definitely something that you need to have in top-of-mind awareness. So thanks again for watching. Just a quick note, this is actually called Vogue. This is a statue. Statues like this are being made from alabaster stone with pneumatic tools, and they're being placed now in independent films as props by property masters and production designers. Sculpture by Valentina. Sculpturebyvalentina.com. This is Vogue, and there's 40 other statues that you can take a look at over at that site. I encourage you to do so. They make for great set pieces, especially for simple to set up films. My name again, Adam Daniel Mezei, wishing you the best of things. Keep a lookout this week. There's going to be some interesting mug action coming your way. Take care. See you tomorrow.